When a child is growing, they consume more calories, don't they? They eat more food, and they're not growing because they're eating more food. They're eating more food because they are growing, and it's to do with the hormones and enzymes that their bodies are releasing. And when a woman is pregnant, she'll put more fat on around her breasts and her bum and thighs, and that's not happening because she's eating more food. She'll eat more food because that's happening, and her body's releasing certain hormones and enzymes. So when it comes to you wanting to lean down and lose body fat, the main thing you should be focusing on is your hormones and enzymes. The first thing you need to do is understand how your body fat is actually regulated. A lot of people think that you just kind of store body fat and it stays there until your body's ready to burn it off and utilize it as energy, when that's not true. Every single day you're burning body fat, and every single day you're storing body fat. It's constantly being kind of broken down and built up. If you think about it, like when you're sleeping throughout the whole night, your body, your cells in your body still needs energy. There's loads of processes that are going on in your body that need energy. So if you're not eating food, your body's going to have to get it from somewhere, and it will go into your fat reserves, get fatty acids from your fat cells, and utilize that as energy. And then when you eat again, your body will replenish the fat stores and store more body fat to account for the fat that's been lost. So I'm going to give you one thing that you can stop doing, okay, and one thing that you can start doing that's going to help you to extend the period of time in the day that your body's going to be utilizing them fatty acids as energy. And then I'm going to give you one thing that you can stop doing that's going to help your body stop storing as much body fat. And then we're going to give you something else that you can replace it with, because obviously anything that you stop doing, if you do not replace it with something, you're going to feel like there's a void there and it's going to be hard to stop. So the first thing that you're going to stop doing is stop eating first thing in the morning. Now, I'm not saying stop eating breakfast. Now, your breakfast is just the first meal you eat. It's when you break your fast. Okay, so you're still going to eat breakfast, but it's just going to be pushed forward by a few hours. The first thing in the morning, you don't want to be focusing on food. Okay, so I don't want you to go ridiculously long without food. You know, I'm not saying do it until you're absolutely starving and feeling dizzy. As soon as you feel physiologically hungry, then eat your first meal. Okay, and just try not to push it too far forward. So obviously if you're still not hungry by like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, then that's just a bit daft. You need to make sure, a good rule of thumb is don't go past kind of like 2 o'clock without having, you know, a nice big satisfying meal. So that's the first thing you're going to stop doing, is stop eating within the first few hours when you wake up, and just eat when you're physiologically hungry, not when you're just a bit peckish and you fancy a biscuit. Eat when you're actually hungry, have a nice big satisfying meal. You can snack on a low energy dense piece of fruit like you know, an apple or some berries or something like that before your first meal is absolutely fine, but try to push forward eating you know, for the first few hours when you wake up. That's going to help to mobilize more body fat as energy, and you will burn more fat that way. Now, instead of eating at first thing in the morning, you're going to replace that with focusing on hydration. Now, hydration, water is far more important than food. You'll die within 3 days without water and 3 weeks without food. So the first thing you should be focusing on in the morning is hydrating your body. Every single organ in your body is going to function better when it's hydrated, and you're just going to feel better for it. And think about it, throughout the whole of the night you haven't consumed any water, so you're most dehydrated first thing in the morning. So focusing on hydration is going to make you feel so much better. So just plain water, or put some lemon in it, or having, like, you know, some herbal tea, green teas, even a black coffee is fine as well to curb your appetite a bit. All that sort of stuff first thing in the morning is going to really help to mobilize more body fat, and you should be looking leaner in no time. Now, the second thing that you're going to need to stop doing, and this is going to stop you from storing as much body fat throughout the day, and that is to stop eating as much fast digesting carbohydrates as you can. Now, I'm talking about things with refined flours, things like pasta and bread and fruit juices and alcohol. A good thing to do is to look on the glycemic index. So if you go on Google and just put in GI index, glycemic index, and look at things that have a really high glycemic index, and minimize them foods as much as possible. Now, you can still have carbohydrates, don't cut them out completely, but try to make them from whole food sources. So, you know, foods like, even nuts have carbohydrates, even beans have carbohydrates, vegetables have carbohydrates, okay? Brown rice, oats, all them sort of things are going to be much slower digesting carbohydrates than a chocolate bar, for instance. So look on the GI index and figure out which foods are really high, have a really high GI index, and minimize them, as much as you can, and that's going to stop your body from storing as much body fat. Now, because you're taking them foods away and stop eating as much of them foods, you're gonna need something to replace it with. Them high carbohydrates, fast digesting carbohydrates, actually release serotonin. They actually make you feel good. That's why they're so addictive. So if you're taking them away, you're gonna feel like there's a void there, so we need to replace it with something. And one of the best things that you can do to release more feel-good hormones, to replace them foods that you're gonna be cutting out, is to start exercising. Start exercising, do something every day if you can. You don't have to go balls to the wall all out and do an hour and a half at the gym every day, but even just a 20-minute workout can give you a little bit of a boost and make yourself feel better, and it's gonna stop the need to turn to them foods all the time to make yourself feel better and pick yourself up. So start exercising regularly, go to the gym at least 3 to 5 days a week, and on the days that you don't go to the gym, still do something. Yeah, even if it's 10 minutes, it's going to be far better than nothing, and it's going to make your body release them hormones to make you feel good. So that's it, guys. There's 2 things you need to stop doing and 2 things you need to start doing. You need to stop eating first thing in the morning and start focusing on hydration, and you need to stop eating as many fast digesting carbohydrate foods and start focusing on exercise to make yourself feel better instead of those foods. So I hope this has helped. Please share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.
I do it for the love, yes I do.